Well, good afternoon, everybody. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time, and this afternoon it is a rainy day. I started out right at 4 o'clock. Unfortunately, my camera was not turned the right direction, so I had to stop and restart. Thank you for being with us today. I am excited to show you a tunnel card. It's an inside tunnel card, and I watched the video that Jennifer McGuire did to learn how to do it. I have made a inside box card before, but it's been a while, so I needed to be refreshed. And so this is one that I made. I had planned on doing this today, but it was a little bit of a challenge because the inside, the arches and stuff were a little bit more difficult to position and stuff. So I decided to make another one with a different designer series paper. This was a birthday paper, and so I made this one, and I really like the way it turned out. It's a birthday card. Cheers to another year of you. Make a wish with a birthday cake in the center. A happy birthday on the front. My new version is this one. Wishing you. You open it up and it says a happy spring. And this is the Storybook Moments designer series paper. I was hesitant to get it at first, but it's so cute and really does remind me of my childhood. So this is the card we're going to make today. It folds flat, so you can put it in a regular envelope. And I did not put the embellishments on this yet, so let's do that. This is from the 2024 Fall Mini. They are the Earth Tone Shimmer Gems. And I'm not sure whether they're still available or not. I know that they are on the discontinued list, or last chance list. That's what it's called. Anyway, I'm going to put a few around here. To add a little bit of a glimmer to the card. Oh, I should have put it here. Well, there is room for that. Do things in odd numbers, and this die does cut out the dots for the eye, but they are so tiny that getting paper off the back of them to make them stick would be a challenge. So there, now we have a little bit of glimmer to the page. Okay, so let's set that aside here. This is the stamp set. I'm using the Happy Spring from it. I could have stamped a bunny in the center and then die cut it, and could have done that, but the designer series paper comes with die cut images. And then I'm using the Stylish Shapes dies to cut out the centers and things like that. On top of that, I am using, they wanted to say dies because I needed to have you for the front, and the other die set that I used does not have that. It is the, okay, where are you? It is this Delightful Wishes dies, and that's where the wishing comes from. And on this one, the you and things like that, it goes with this stamp set, wishing, and then you stamp, you were here, you all the best. And I could have stamped that and cut out just the you, but I wanted a bigger one to match the wishing. So that's what I am going with. So we'll set those aside. So you start with 2 pieces of cardstock, 8.5 by 5.5, standard card base size for the United States. I saw several tutorials for making this card that were based in Europe and making an A4 card, which is good, but we don't have envelopes for those here. So at any rate, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then on the back side, you take off 1/4 of an inch. No, let me double check that. Take off 1/2 inch on the back side of the card. Like that. So the front of the card is longer than the back of the card. Okay, on the other piece of designer series of 8.5 by 5.5 cardstock, we're going to score at 1/2 inch. Get this up here so you can see. Score at 1/2 inch. At 4 1/4. This is the center of the card. Got to remember not to use the black, but use the gray instead. And then 4 3/4 inch. So we have that. So we have 3 folds on this piece. This is going to make a box-like thing for the inside. Now on this piece, it's 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Slightly smaller because you've got to have room for the folds and things. So it's just slightly off. Let's see, it's not quite slightly enough. I need 4 1/4, like about 1/16 of an inch less. So I'll trim that down. And the top, and it's supposed to be 5 1/2, slightly less, yeah. Okay, so that should work real well. On this piece, we're going to score at 1/4 inch on each of the long sides. So I like to work on this side of the scoring thing when you have a small measurement like that, so you have most of your card up against the rail. So at 1/4, and then turn it around, and another 1/4. And we can put this aside. And these 2 fold like so. And this is going to fit inside the box like that. So it brings in another layer. Can you see? It'll fit inside like that. Okay, before I start cutting the openings, I'm going to go ahead and put the designer series paper on. I originally, when I made the birthday one, I didn't do that, and it was a little bit of a challenge to get everything lined up. So this is the card front. Remember, it's longer than the back. We'll put the paper on the front. This is really fun paper. One side has vegetables, and this side has the vintage houses. So this is our card front. And then this goes in here. I have kind of a gardening thing to this. Alarm system went off. Guarantee. Whenever there's a sound around, They let you know. And they don't stop letting you know. We have dachshunds, and they are very barky. So this is the piece that has the quarter inch. Quarter inch. And I wanted this designer series paper to be just slightly smaller. Gotta get that straight. So that it didn't interfere with the folds. So I cut it at a 1/16 less. It still's not very straight. A 1/16 inch smaller than this space between the folds. This is 3 3/4, so I cut it at 3 5/8. Should have done it with there. That's a little better. Came out crooked, so able to cut that off. That's because I didn't shorten by the top, I guess, by the 16th or the 8th. Okay, so this is the inside panel, and then this is the one. Do you get the theme? House, gardening tools, garden. So put this one on. Same thing, it's 3 5/8, so that it kind of clears the score lines. Yeah, that's better. And that fit the top better. Okay, so now we're going to cut openings in these. And I used the square ones. This time you can use the circles. I used on this one, I used the arches. So any shape that you want. And I used the largest of the squares. And it goes on this one. So position it. Oh, I thought I could do this with my mini, but I'm not going to be able to. I'm going to position it. And what happened to my tape? Oh, here we are. To hold it in place. I'll be right back because I don't have my big one here. Okay. Pull it off carefully. This painter's tape, this blue tape, sometimes gets down really firmly, and it's easy sometimes to ruin the surface of the paper. So if you take it off gently, okay, so there's our opening. It'll be like so from the box. And now for this one, I'm going to use the next size down. They layer very nicely. One of the challenges with the arches is that you can't just do the one next because you have to have it wide enough to get your greeting in there. Okay, so now to get this one nicely centered, the smaller one, I'm going to stack these, matching the score lines. With the designer series paper, it's kind of easy to see where the score lines are. Like that. And put the square in and align it like I want so that it's even all the way around. And anchor it. And I'll be back. I forgot to say, or to do, when you put the designer series paper on, I just put it on the corners like I normally do, but I should have put some in the middle so that this edge would stay sealed. However, with the stitching that's on the die, it's going to stay together. Okay, so now we're going to put these together. This one goes inside here. Wait a minute, wrong side. It needs to go like this. I'm going to use, fortunately, this quarter of the tape is 1/4 inch. And it's best to use tear and tape so that, because there's a lot of tension on the folds. Okay. So now, this is the fold line here, and we want this to be so that the edge goes like that. Can you see? We want the edge of this to be right at the edge of that fold. So I'm going to take the tape off, the backing. Now I'm placing the edge of the cardstock right up against that fold and folding it over. Okay, so now we have depth. You see the depth? Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to decorate the center here. I need to make my greeting for the inside. This says, Happy Spring. I'm going to use the pecan pie, which is the cardstock base color. And I'm going to use the largest of the banners. No, not the largest. That would be too wide, too long. This one, this is the one I'm going to use. It fits perfectly. anchor it down. This time I can use the mini die cutting machine. Squeak, squeak, squeak. There we have Happy Spring. Ta-da! Okay, so now this goes inside, and you could use Stampin' Dimensionals if you wanted, but because of the amount of folds and layers, I'm just going to use some seal. And you have to be careful, because if I did it this way, it would not be quite square, centered. So I've got to get it so that it's standing up straight, like that, and then I can put it in. That looks pretty good. Now one of the dies, a couple of the die cuts from this designer series paper is this darling little chipmunk or badger chipmunk, I think, who has a rake, and he has a basket with some fruit and vegetables in it. And he's the one that has been working so hard on his garden. I'm going to put this on here, just with a little bit of Stampin' Seal. To give a little bit of a scene. See how high I want him. Yeah, that looks good. So that'll be centered in the center of our thing. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so now it's time to put this on. I'm going to remove this. Actually, they recommended, and I think it's wise, we'll put this into the card front first. It's going to go, here's the chopped off back, and this fits just like so in there. Okay, do I really want to do that right now? Yeah, I do. So you could use tear and tape. I think I will. Apologize for the barking dogs. While I've got the tear and tape out, I'm going to put some on here. Okay. Love my take your pick. It is so easy to get these up with it. Sometimes I try to get it up with just my fingernail, and finally I'll go, oh gosh, gotta get the tear and tape. I mean, the take your pick. Got to get the adhesive down well. Okay, this fits in here. Trying to get it straight. There we go. Okay, now we can finish off our box-like thing. So this goes there, and it's going to go up to the edge. Going to put it to the edge, meet these two edges, like so. Come on. Okay, line up these two edges. That's pretty good. So now we have our boxy. And then we can close the card. So we're going to flatten it this direction. Okay. Flatten it so that this goes flat. Yeah, there we go. It's supposed to go flat. That's my problem. Well, I didn't get it very straight. That's my problem. Let's see if I can pull it apart and straighten it. This is where using maybe multi-purpose glue would work better, because you have a little bit of a wiggle room with it. If you're careful, you can separate it slightly. And it still doesn't lay flat very well. Okay, guys. It was supposed to work. Why is it not? Okay, now it's working. Have to fiddle with it a little bit. That's why I say maybe multi-purpose liquid glue would be a little more kind. So now this folds up to that score line. Get it as straight as you can. And fold your card over. See? Not perfect. Never is quite. But it will do. That's the way I wanted it, right? Okay, so now we've got it done. The basics of the card. You open it up that way. Work the folds a little bit both ways. So there we have our tunnel card. Yeah, I should have. Anyway, so then on the outside, the Wishing You. This is so cool, this set. because it has the shadow behind, and you absolutely have to put adhesive sheet on your cardstock before you do the die cutting. You just have to. There's no way that you can get little dots. Well, you can if you're really precise, and maybe you have your multi-purpose liquid glue well trained to only give tiny dots, or perhaps maybe you like using the fine needle the fine needle glue adhesive. So there's the shadow, and this is the greeting. And you'll notice there are dots. These eyes actually have dots. But like I said, it's very difficult to get the paper backing off it to put them on, or even to put them on without the backing and just a little bit of glue. It's a challenge. So I have a way to get around that. Ouch. Once you get it started, it comes out pretty well. There we go. And our dots are still in the die. Okay, so you see how fine that is? There is no way that you could possibly get dots on that, or glue dots. So peel off the paper backing. And we'll start laying it down. So that it goes down the middle of the brown. And it's pretty well trained, actually. Just like that. Isn't that cool? Now for the dots. I have the white watercolor pencil. Whisper White is called. If you dampen your finger and get it kind of soft, you can put a pretty good white dot on there. See? I think you could probably also take a pencil point and get some of the white craft ink and put it on there. Or if you have a white gel pen, that would work too. I haven't had much luck with them because they dry out so fast. So there's wishing. And we can put that, because I have the adhesive on the back of this. Put that on the front. Wishing. Now I wanted, like I said, I wanted the U, and this die, it doesn't show a picture of it, but this die says "You're too kind," and all I want is the U portion. So I didn't care if I had paper clear across. So I'll pop up the white. And the back, and then this is the back part. And it will lay like this on it, like that. Come on up. Try from this side. Oh, are you going to be stubborn today? I want to make sure I'm taking it from the wrong side, the correct side. Well, keeps wanting to bend the cardstock up. There, got it. Lay that down in here. Like that. Then take my paper snips and trim off the scraps. And I don't want this part right here, so I will just cut up on the edge like that. And there we have you. Wishing you happy spring. And I need my pen. And just add a, like that. Now on the back, you could take a piece of basic white and put it on the back of the card so that you can write further on it if you want. Got some adhesive there sticking out. So there we have our inside tunnel card. And it folds up like that. Let's put a little bit of bling on it. There. I wonder, I'm having troubles. Maybe there. I always have a hard time figuring out where to put the bling. It's supposed to be random. Oh, I know what else I did. Let's put the bling on the... No, I think I'll leave the white on the dots of the eyes. So there you have it. Thank you for watching. This is Sue, the Soggy Stamper. Rain or shine, it's stamping time. And this video will be up on my YouTube channel, The Soggy Stamper, this evening. If you have any questions, email me, sue@soggystamper.com. My blog is soggystamper.com, and if you go to my blog, and on the upper right-hand corner is a button that says Shop 24/7, and that will take you to my store, creationsbysue.stampinup.net, so that you can buy these supplies. None of these are going to be selling out, except for possibly these earth tone shimmer gems. Everything was good for a while yet. Don't know whether the designer series paper, I'm sure it won't be carried forward into the new annual catalog, but the stamp set might, and the dies. So at any rate, go check it out. We're still having celebration. 1st of February, we had some new things that are in the annual catalog added to the celebration items that you can win or earn for a $60 purchase. So go check that out. There's only a week left of it. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you again not next Friday, but next Saturday at 4 o'clock. Talk to you later. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye-bye.